The night was too quiet, the kind of silence that didn't feel natural. Luna Bennett wrapped her coat tighter around her body as she hurried down the alley, cursing herself for taking the shortcut behind the bar. Her boots echoed on the wet pavement, every step sounding louder than it should, bouncing off the graffitied walls. She told herself to breathe, to calm down, that nothing was going to happen. But the second she heard the scuff of a shoe behind her, too close, too deliberate, she knew. She ran. But it didn't matter. A rough hand grabbed her arm and yanked her back. Another man stepped out of the shadows. Then another. 3 in total, maybe more. Faces blurred by black hoods, gloved hands reaching. Luna screamed, twisted, kicked. The first blow knocked the wind out of her. Pain bloomed in her ribs as she hit the ground. Her vision blurred, ears ringing, panic taking over. One of them raised something. Metal, cold, gleaming under the flickering alley light. A gun. She barely had time to think. But then chaos. A blur moved through the darkness. Fast. Precise. One of the men dropped, choking on his own breath. Another turned, tried to aim, but the blur was already on him. Knife? No, hands. Bare hands. Breaking bones with surgical accuracy. Luna gasped, frozen as the third man ran. He didn't get far. A boot caught his knee. He collapsed with a scream, and the figure stood over him. It was a woman. The first thing Luna noticed, stupidly, was her eyes, sharp, silver in the dark, focused like she could see through bone. Her voice was calm, low, edged with danger. He's not getting up again. You're safe now. Luna's whole body trembled. She tried to speak, but couldn't find her voice. Blood rushed in her ears. Who are you? The woman crouched beside her, hands surprisingly gentle as they checked Luna's pulse, her limbs, her injuries. Name's Adriana. You're not hurt bad. You can stand. Luna blinked. How did you do that? Adriana helped her up, one arm around her waist. Luna's legs barely held. I've had practice. Why were you here? Adriana's jaw tightened. Right place, right time. But something in her tone made Luna doubt it. She didn't push. Not yet. She couldn't. She was too shaken, too raw. I'm taking you somewhere safe, Adriana said, already guiding her out of the alley. They might come back. Why would they attack me? I don't know. Adriana lied, and Luna didn't notice the hesitation. They walked for blocks. Luna didn't even remember agreeing to follow her. She only knew that her heart wouldn't stop pounding, not just from fear, but from something else. The way Adriana held her, firm, protective, like nothing would touch her again. The way she glanced around them constantly, alert to danger, jaw set, muscles tense. She looked dangerous. She felt like safety. Luna should have been more afraid, but instead, she kept stealing glances at her. At the way the streetlights caught the curve of her cheekbone, the blood on her knuckles, the ghost of pain in her expression. Do you know them? Luna asked when they stopped outside an apartment complex. No, Adriana said, too quickly. Then, I just couldn't walk away. She looked at Luna, then really looked. You don't have to be alone tonight. Luna should have said no. She didn't even know this woman. But something in her, something deep and scared and aching, nodded. She followed Adriana up the stairs, into a place that smelled like leather and lavender. She sat on the edge of a worn couch, watching Adriana disappear into the kitchen. Do you do this often? Luna asked. Save strangers? Only the ones worth saving. Their eyes met across the room. Luna's breath caught. This wasn't gratitude. Not entirely. It was something else. Something hot and wild and unspoken. But before she could name it, Adriana turned away. And Luna was left wondering who exactly had just saved her, and what the hell she'd just stepped into. The apartment was dimly lit, sparsely furnished, the kind of place someone lived in but didn't settle into. Luna sat on the edge of the couch, fingers knotted tightly in her lap, heart still thudding erratically from the adrenaline. The walls were a muted gray, and the only personal touch was a battered bookshelf in the corner, filled with paperbacks worn at the spine. Adriana moved like she belonged in shadows, barefoot, stripped of her jacket now, revealing a fitted black tank top that clung to the sharp lines of her body. There were bruises on her arms, old scars too. Luna's eyes lingered on one that cut across her bicep in a long, clean line.
She didn't ask about it.
She didn't need to. Adriana came back from the kitchen with a glass of water and a small ice pack. "For your ribs," she said softly, kneeling in front of Luna like it was nothing, like they weren't still strangers, like she hadn't just killed men with her bare hands. Luna took the ice pack, their fingers brushing. A spark jumped between them. She felt it. Adriana did too. The silence thickened. "You don't have to stay," Adriana murmured, sitting on the floor now, back against the opposite wall. "But if you go, I can't protect you. Whoever sent those men, they weren't amateurs. And they weren't random. You said you didn't know who they were." "I don't," Adriana said, gaze fixed on the floor. "But people don't get attacked like that unless someone wants something." Luna's voice was hoarse. "I'm a barista. I don't know anything. I don't have enemies." Adriana looked up. There was something unreadable in her expression. "You'd be surprised what people get killed over." "You think they were trying to kill me?" "Yes." No hesitation. The word landed heavy. Luna swallowed. "But you were there." "I was."
Why?
"I told you. Right place. Don't lie." Adriana's jaw clenched. The silence stretched. Then she sighed, running a hand through her hair. "I didn't follow you. I didn't plan it. But I was nearby. I heard something I couldn't ignore." Luna studied her. "You fight like someone trained." "That's not a question." "What are you?" "Nothing that concerns you." "It kind of concerns me now." Adriana smiled, barely. "You ask a lot of questions for someone who nearly died an hour ago." "You don't seem that concerned about me dying." Adriana's eyes darkened. "Don't mistake calm for indifference. I would have taken a bullet for you back there." The words stunned Luna into silence. She stared at her. "You don't even know me." That didn't matter. The way she said it, quiet, steady, like it was the only truth she had left, it unnerved Luna more than anything. "Why?" she asked again. "Why would you do that?" Adriana looked away. "I don't know." But she did. And Luna felt it, even if she didn't understand it yet. Hours passed. The ice melted. Luna's side ached, but her thoughts ached more. Adriana moved like someone who had learned to survive in chaos, who didn't flinch at blood or silence. And yet she hadn't left her alone once.
She brought her tea.
Offered food. Let her shower. Luna stood in the bathroom, staring at herself in the mirror. Wet hair clung to her cheeks. Her neck bore a red mark from where she'd been grabbed. Her eyes looked hollow, stunned. And yet, underneath it all, she kept thinking about Adriana's hands. Her voice. The way she stood between her and danger without hesitation. She dried off and stepped into the bedroom. Adriana's room. She realized only then. It was clean, minimal, no photos, no clutter. A single pistol on the nightstand. Luna's breath caught. Adriana was sitting on the bed, one leg drawn up, a towel pressed to her knuckles. She looked up, startled for once. "I didn't think you'd. You live like you're always ready to leave," Luna said quietly. Adriana tilted her head. "I am. Because of what you do. Because of what I've done." Luna crossed the room slowly. "You don't scare me. You should be. Maybe. But I'm not." Adriana looked at her for a long time, like she was trying to memorize her. "You should sleep. You've been through hell tonight." "I don't think I could sleep even if I wanted to." Luna sat beside her. The bed dipped with the weight. They were too close. Or maybe not close enough. "You know," Luna whispered. "You didn't have to bring me here." "I know. But you did."
Yeah.
A beat. "Would you have done the same for me?" Luna's lips parted, startled. "I don't know." "Fair." Another silence. Then, "I didn't mean to get involved. I shouldn't have. But when I saw them, I could not step in." Luna touched her arm gently. "I'm glad you did." Adriana's breath hitched, barely audible. Their eyes locked again, and everything unsaid stretched between them, taut and trembling. Luna leaned in first, not enough to close the distance, just enough to let the question hang. Adriana didn't move, but she didn't pull away either. "You don't want to do this," Adriana said softly. "Don't tell me what I want." Her voice cracked a little. "You don't even know me." "Maybe not. But I know how this ends." Luna shook her head. "You don't get to decide that." And for a moment, just a moment, Adriana looked like she believed her. They didn't kiss.
Not yet.
But the heat between them was undeniable. When Luna lay down hours later, the scent of Adriana still on her skin, the tension still in her bones, she realized she hadn't felt that safe, or that shaken in years. And she didn't know which part scared her more. The morning light was harsh, slicing through the blinds like a blade. Luna stirred on the unfamiliar couch, the weight of the night before still pressing down on her chest like a phantom hand. For a few seconds she didn't remember where she was, until the faint sound of movement in the kitchen pulled her back into the present. The events of the alley came rushing back like a flood. The shadows, the hands grabbing her, the violence. Adriana. Luna sat up slowly, ribs aching, her muscles sore in places she didn't realize had been strained. The air smelled like coffee and burnt toast. She found Adriana at the stove, cooking eggs with one hand, flipping them effortlessly, a mug of black coffee resting on the counter beside her. She didn't look over her shoulder, but somehow knew Luna was awake. "You sleep at all?" "Barely." "Figured." Adriana slid the eggs onto a plate and placed it in front of her. No questions, no commentary. Just quiet care. Luna took the fork with stiff fingers. "Thanks. For everything." Adriana finally looked at her. "Don't thank me yet." The words chilled her, even though they were said gently. Luna didn't ask what she meant.
She didn't want to know, not yet.
After breakfast, Adriana walked her downstairs. "I'll get you a ride." "You don't have to. I know I don't." Luna hesitated, chewing on her lower lip. "Are you gonna disappear now?" Adriana smirked. "You say that like it's a bad thing." Luna swallowed. "I don't want this to be the last time I see you." Adriana's smile faltered. "Careful, Luna."
"Why?"
"Because people close to me don't stay safe for long." The car pulled up before Luna could reply. She slid into the back seat, their eyes locking through the window. And then she was gone. The apartment felt colder than usual when she got back. Still shaken, she did the only thing that made sense, went to work. The cafe was quiet for a Monday, and Luna was grateful for the distraction. She poured drinks, smiled through her exhaustion, pretended like her world hadn't tilted off its axis. But every time the door opened, her pulse jumped. By noon, she was sure she was being watched. It started as a feeling, eyes on her neck, too many glances from a man in a booth who never ordered, a car parked across the street that hadn't moved in hours. At first, she tried to dismiss it as paranoia. But when she left for her break and turned a corner, she heard footsteps echoing behind her. Not casual, purposeful. She sped up. So did they. "Hey," she snapped, whirling around, only to find herself staring into the chest of a man in a gray hoodie, his face obscured by a cap.
He didn't speak.
Just stared, and then turned around and walked away. Luna didn't go back to the cafe.
She ran.
Her phone trembled in her hand as she scrolled to the only number she'd been too afraid to use. She hit call. Adriana answered on the first ring. "Where are you?" "Corner of 5th and Pine." "Stay there." "Someone was following me. I think they know where I work." "I'm on my way." She arrived 7 minutes later on a motorcycle, helmet in hand, leather jacket on, looking like the embodiment of trouble and salvation. Luna didn't argue. She climbed on the back, wrapping her arms tightly around Adriana's waist. The ride was fast, reckless. When they stopped, it wasn't at the apartment from before. It was a garage, half auto shop, half bunker. Adriana killed the engine and pulled off her helmet. "We're not going back to my place. It's not safe." "Why are they after me?" "I don't know." "Liar." The word snapped out before Luna could stop it. Adriana didn't flinch. You're right, she said calmly. I do know something, but not everything. Luna stepped back. You said you didn't know them, that it was random. I hoped it was. Bullshit. Adriana crossed her arms, eyes narrowing. What do you want from me, Luna? The truth? Fine. I used to be involved with some people. Bad people. I cut ties. They didn't like it. What kind of people? Adriana looked away. The kind that kill loose ends. And you think I'm a loose end? I think you were a message.
To me.
Luna's stomach dropped. So I was never a target. You were. Adriana didn't deny it. Why didn't you tell me? Because if I told you, you'd run. And if you ran, they'd win. This isn't your decision. It is if I'm the only one keeping you alive. Luna shook her head. You should have told me from the beginning. I couldn't.
Why?
Because I didn't expect to care. The words hit like a slap. Luna stared at her, breath shallow. What is this? Some kind of guilt trip?
No.
It's a warning. That you're bad for me? That I'm already in too deep. They stood there, staring at each other across the space between them, something raw and painful rising between them. Then Luna turned. She needed air.
Space.
Anything but this heat, this confusion, this impossible draw to someone who is clearly wrapped in secrets. She wandered through the garage, past stacks of tires and boxes of parts. One box was half open. Curiosity tugged at her. She crouched and pulled the lid back.
Files.
Documents. Photos. Her fingers froze. There, on top of a pile of surveillance shots, was a picture of her. Dated 2 weeks ago. She picked it up with shaking hands. Another photo. Her at the cafe. Another, walking her dog. All tagged. All labeled. Her name. Her address. Notes she couldn't understand. Luna. Adriana's voice was behind her.
Low.
Warning. She turned slowly. What is this? Adriana's face gave nothing away. Tell me right now, or I swear to God. It's not what it looks like. Really? Because it looks like I was being watched before the alley. It looks like someone was tracking me. It wasn't me. But you knew. Adriana stepped forward. I found those last week. I didn't know what they meant. I kept them in case I could find out who left them. That's convenient. It's the truth. I don't believe you. Then leave. The words stopped her. What? If you don't believe me, leave. I won't stop you. I won't chase you. But don't stand there and call me a liar when I saved your life. And maybe that's the only reason I'm still breathing, because you chose to. Damn right I did. The silence afterward was deafening. Luna dropped the photo. It fluttered to the ground. Adriana didn't pick it up. Luna's voice was barely a whisper. I don't know who you are. Adriana met her gaze. Maybe I don't either. And for the first time, Luna saw the truth in her eyes. Not just danger, but guilt.
Deep.
Endless. And heartbreakingly human. Luna didn't sleep that night. Not because of fear, though that lingered in her bones, but because her mind refused to stop spinning. Adriana. The photos. The lies. The rescue. The way her voice had cracked when she'd said, maybe I don't either. Like even she wasn't sure who she was anymore. Luna had fled the garage with fire in her chest, walking for blocks, ignoring every call that buzzed from Adriana's name. She ended up in a cheap motel on the edge of the city, paid in cash, and locked the door behind her with shaking hands. She needed space. She needed clarity. But all she could think about was the way Adriana had looked at her, like she'd ruined something just by telling the truth too late. In the morning, she took a long, hot shower and stared at her reflection. She looked like a ghost of herself. Pale, hollow-eyed, but burning inside. That woman had saved her life. That woman had lied to her face. That woman had touched her like she mattered. Luna checked out, took the bus home, and tried to act normal. She lasted 2 hours before the knock on the door shattered everything. She froze. Another knock. Louder. Her heart thundered. She tiptoed to the peephole. It wasn't Adriana. It was a man. Clean cut. Average. Forgettable, except for the way he stood, like a soldier pretending to be soft. Luna backed away. Her phone buzzed. Adriana, don't open it. That's not me. Get out. Her breath caught. A second message followed. Back exit.
Now.
She didn't hesitate. Grabbed her bag. Slipped on her shoes. Bolted out the back of her building and nearly ran straight into Adriana. Come on, Adriana growled, grabbing her hand. They're inside already. How did you? They found her address. We have to go. Where? Anywhere they can't find you. They didn't speak as they raced down the alley, through side streets, Luna breathless and aching but fueled by pure adrenaline. Adriana led her to a sleek black car parked 2 blocks away. Luna hesitated. You expect me to just get in? No, Adriana said, looking straight into her eyes. But I'm asking you to trust me. One more time. Luna stared at her, jaw clenched. Then she slid into the passenger seat. This is the last time. Sure, Adriana muttered, starting the engine. You keep telling yourself that. The drive was silent, tense, except for the low hum of the engine and the occasional sharp turn that made Luna grab the door handle. You didn't answer my texts, Adriana said finally. Because I didn't want to talk to you. But you didn't block me. Don't read into that. I'm not. I'm just glad you're alive. Luna scoffed, folding her arms. Is this how you treat everyone you care about? Lies and bullets. No, Adriana said softly. Just you. Lucky me. They arrived at a safe house on the outskirts of the city, a cabin tucked into the woods, old but fortified. Adriana checked the perimeter before letting them inside. Luna dropped her bag on the floor and turned on her. How did they find me? They're watching me. Which means they're watching you now, too. Why? Because I broke a rule. What rule? Adriana's gaze was unreadable. I didn't let you die. The air crackled with tension. Luna's breath hitched. Is that what you were supposed to do? Adriana didn't answer. Jesus. Luna paced the room. So saving me was what? A betrayal? To them? Yes. To you? Adriana stepped closer. To me, it was the first real decision I've made in years. The space between them shrank. Luna's heart beat like war drums. I don't know what to do with you, she whispered. You terrify me. Good, Adriana said. I terrify myself, too. And yet neither of them moved away. You want me to trust you? Luna asked. Prove it. Adriana swallowed. How? Tell me something true. Something real. Silence. Then Adriana said, when I saw you that night, I wasn't supposed to stop. I was supposed to be part of the team. I was supposed to stand by while they hurt you. Or finish the job if they failed. Luna stared, horror blooming in her chest. Adriana kept going, voice trembling now. But I couldn't. I saw your face. You were terrified. And I don't know what happened. I acted without thinking. I turned on them. I killed them. I broke everything. Luna stepped back. So it's true. You were one of them. I was. I'm not anymore. And you expect me to believe that? No. But I'm hoping you want to. Luna didn't answer. She turned away, shaking. I need air. Don't go far. I'm not going anywhere. Outside, the wind cut through the trees. The world felt too quiet. Luna hugged herself, trying to stop shaking. Adriana watched her from the porch, a silent shadow, giving her space, but unable to look away. She wasn't sure how long passed before Luna finally said, I don't forgive you. I don't expect you to. But I believe you. Adriana looked up. Their eyes met. Something shifted between them again, an invisible line drawing taut, ready to snap. You shouldn't. I know. Luna took a step closer. Then another. But I still do. Why? Because you're the only one who didn't hurt me, even when you should've. Adriana didn't move as Luna reached her. Didn't speak. Luna's fingers trembled as she touched her cheek. I hate that I want you. You don't hate it. And then they kissed. Fierce. Desperate. Not gentle, not sweet. raw and filled with everything they couldn't say. Luna pulled her in like she was drowning. Adriana kissed her back like it was the last time she'd ever feel alive. When they broke apart, breathless, their foreheads touching, Luna whispered, "I don't know what this means." "Me neither. But I'm not running anymore. Then I'll fight for you." The words were soft but full of promise. A promise Luna didn't know how to believe, but desperately wanted to. That night, they didn't sleep. They stayed wrapped in each other, silent, hearts racing in sync, the danger outside held at bay by the one truth they both couldn't deny anymore. Whatever this was, it was real. And it was only just beginning. The morning came far too fast. Luna stirred beneath the scratchy cabin sheets, sunlight painting soft gold across the wooden walls, and for one blissful moment, she forgot everything. Her body was warm, her heart calm. Adriana's arm was slung over her waist, and Luna could feel the slow, steady rhythm of her breathing behind her. But then memory caught up. The alley, the blood, the files,
The kiss.
the truth. Her chest tightened. She shifted slightly, trying not to wake Adriana, but the other woman's grip around her waist only tightened. "You're not running, remember?" Adriana's voice was still raspy with sleep, low and dangerous like a promise. "Just stretching," Luna muttered, biting down a smile despite herself. Adriana pressed a kiss to the back of her shoulder, soft and fleeting, then rolled onto her back. The intimacy between them was new, fragile, and humming with unsaid things. Luna sat up and reached for her jeans, the morning chill creeping across her skin. "What happens now?" Adriana leaned up on one elbow.
Now?
"We figure out who the hell wants you dead, and why." "I thought it was about you. It started with me. I'm not sure it ends there." Luna turned, her voice sharp. "Then tell me everything. No more hiding." Adriana's eyes met hers, something unreadable flickering behind them. "You want the full story?" "Yes." Adriana got out of bed, pulling on a dark shirt, suddenly distant.
Fine.
"I used to work for a group called Kestrel. You won't find them on the internet. No logos. No paper trail. They operate through shadows, blackmail, contracts, eliminations. I was recruited at 19. They taught me how to fight, how to disappear, how to kill. I was one of their best." Luna's throat tightened. "And you did it? You killed for them?" "Yes. No hesitation. And I was good at it. Until I wasn't." "What changed?" Adriana's jaw clenched. "They assigned me to eliminate a woman. An investigative reporter. She was digging into something sensitive. Too sensitive. I followed her for weeks. Watched her. And I realized she wasn't dangerous. Just brave. Curious. Doing her job. I warned her. Told her to back off. She didn't. But I couldn't kill her." "What did you do?" "I faked her death. Covered my tracks. Lied to my handler." Adriana paced now, tension bleeding from her every step. "But they found out eventually. I was branded a traitor. Hunted. I've been on the run ever since. And then I got caught in the middle. I didn't know your name. Not at first. You were just collateral. Part of a job someone else was handling. But when I saw your face in that alley, something in me snapped.
I didn't care who saw.
I killed them, Luna. For you." Luna stood frozen, trying to breathe past the weight in her chest. "Why me?" Adriana looked at her like it was the simplest question in the world. "Because you looked at me like I wasn't a monster. You're not. I've done terrible things. And still, you saved me." Silence settled between them. Then Luna stepped forward. "What's Kestrel's next move?" "They'll keep coming. I burned too many bridges. And now that I've involved you, you're leverage. So we run." Adriana shook her head.
No.
"We plan. We go to someone I trust. Someone I didn't think I'd ever see again." Luna frowned.
Who?
"Her name's Camilla. Ex-Kestrel. She was my partner. We used to." Adriana hesitated. "We were close." Jealousy stabbed through Luna before she could stop it. "Define close." Adriana smirked, tired. Not like you and me. That shouldn't have comforted her as much as it did. Will she help us? She might, but it'll come at a price. I'm done with secrets, Adriana. No more half-truths. I swear. She stepped close, cupping Luna's cheek. You deserve all of me, even the dark parts. Luna's breath hitched. Then let's go meet your past. The drive to the rendezvous point was long. Rural.
Empty.
Adriana was quiet the whole way, eyes always scanning the rearview mirror. Luna sat beside her, fingers brushing the cool glass of the passenger window, lost in thought. At a gas station hours later, Luna stepped out to stretch, phone in hand. No signal. No messages. The isolation was eerie. She turned and froze. A black SUV had pulled into the far end of the lot. Two men stepped out. They weren't looking at her.
Yet.
But their body language was off.
Sharp. Predatory.
Luna turned to call Adriana, just as one of the men spotted her. Shit, she breathed.
She ran.
They followed. She didn't scream. Screaming didn't work. She sprinted around the building, heart pounding, feet slipping on gravel. A gunshot rang out. She ducked behind a dumpster, breath ragged. Another shot. Then silence. And suddenly, Adriana was there, panting, pistol in hand. You okay? Luna couldn't speak. Adriana grabbed her hand. Come on. Move. They tore back to the car. Adriana fired behind them as they drove off, one bullet cracking the SUV's windshield. They weren't random, Luna gasped. They knew we were coming. Adriana's knuckles whitened on the wheel. They're tracking us somehow.
How?
I left my phone. Shit. Your jacket. They could have planted something when you were grabbed. Luna stripped off her hoodie, searching the seams. Nothing. Adriana reached over, checking the lining. Her fingers paused. Found it. She ripped a tiny metal device from the inner seam, threw it out the window. They knew exactly where we were. Luna sat in stunned silence. How do we stop this? We cut off the head. You mean? We find the one who ordered the hit. We make them pay. And Camilla? She knows how to find him. They reached a secluded airstrip by sunset. A single-engine plane waited, engine humming. Camilla stood beside it, arms crossed, long coat whipping in the wind. She was tall, elegant, and cool-eyed, the kind of woman who could order a kill and then fix her lipstick. When she saw Adriana, something flickered behind her mask. Not hate, not surprise. Something deeper. Adriana Sterling, she said, voice low. Didn't think you had the nerve to show your face again. I need your help. Oh, I know. Camilla's eyes shifted to Luna. Her lips curled. And this must be the reason. Luna bristled. Adriana stepped in front of her. She's off limits. Relax. I'm not interested in your new pet, Camilla.
Fine.
I'll help you. But after this, we're even. And if you betray me again, I won't. We'll see. They boarded the plane. Luna sat close to Adriana, heart still racing. She didn't know what scared her more, Camilla's icy calm, the fact that people wanted her dead, or the way she still felt drawn to Adriana even when every part of her life was in flames. As the plane took off, Luna whispered, "This isn't just survival anymore, is it?" Adriana looked at her, something soft beneath her steel.
No.
It's war. The plane landed in the dead of night, the wind thick with dust, and the hum of crickets loud in the silence. They touched down in an abandoned military airstrip somewhere in Nevada. At least, that's what Camilla had muttered as she powered the aircraft down. Luna stepped onto the cracked tarmac and immediately felt the weight of the place. Isolated. Forgotten. Perfect for secrets. Adriana stayed close, one hand hovering at the small of her back without touching. A protective instinct that had become second nature. Luna felt the pull of it. The warmth. The danger. Camilla didn't wait. She led them into a bunker beneath the airstrip, unlocking it with a series of codes and retinal scans that made Luna's stomach twist. This wasn't just old government property. It was one of Kestrel's old nests. The inside was all concrete and steel, lit by flickering lights and lined with shelves of gear, files, and weapons. Still keeping it stocked, huh? Adriana said with a faint edge. Kestrel never really lets go, Camilla replied. I figured if they ever came after me again, I'd be ready. And now you are, Adriana murmured. Camilla turned to Luna. You ever held a gun? No, Luna said. I pour coffee and alphabetize syrup bottles. Well, Camilla smirked, let's change that. Wait, why would I need a gun? Luna asked, voice catching. Adriana stepped beside her. Because they won't stop coming, and next time, I might not be there. But you said, I'll always try to protect you, Adriana said, but I won't always be fast enough. Luna's hands were cold, but she nodded. Teach me. The next hours were long and brutal. Camilla didn't go easy. She taught Luna how to disarm, how to shoot, how to breathe under pressure. Her methods were fast and rough, but effective. Adriana stayed close, watching, correcting Luna gently when Camilla's tone grew too sharp. Luna surprised them both. She wasn't naturally aggressive, but she was precise, controlled, and focused. She's good, Camilla admitted. She's motivated, Adriana said. She's dangerous, Camilla corrected, staring at Luna with something close to respect. Because she still believes there's a way out. That's the most lethal thing in the world, hope. Speaking of lethal, Adriana said, you said you had intel. Who put the hit out on Luna? Camilla hesitated, then crossed the room to an old server setup. She powered it on and typed in a few commands. Files loaded onto a screen, encrypted logs and operation orders. 3 weeks ago, a contract was issued. Not a hit, a retrieval. Luna's breath caught. Retrieval. You were supposed to be taken alive, Camilla said. Until you weren't. That night in the alley? That wasn't the full team. They were the bait. Bait for what? To test Adriana. Camilla's eyes flicked toward her. To see if she was still soft. And I failed their test, Adriana said bitterly.
No.
You passed it, Camilla said. Just not the way they wanted. You showed you still had loyalty, but not to them. So, Luna was used to get to me. And now, Camilla added, they want her more than ever. Luna felt dizzy.
Why?
I'm not important. I'm not anyone. You are now, Camilla said. Because Adriana chose you over them. That means you matter. That makes you a target. Or a weapon. Adriana stepped forward. What do they want with her? Leverage.
Control.
Maybe even recruitment. They're rebuilding the old ranks. Luna's smart. Observant. She doesn't panic under fire. They see potential. They can't have her. Adriana's voice was steel. Camilla looked between them. Too late. You made her part of this. Now she either hides forever, or she hits back. We hit back, Luna said. The room fell silent. Camilla smiled faintly. There she is. The spark. You're both insane, Luna muttered. But I'm tired of running. I want to end this. Adriana reached for her hand. Their fingers linked, warm and firm. We will.
How?
Luna asked. Kestrel is massive. We don't even know who's leading it now. I do, Camilla said. You won't like it. Adriana tensed. Tell me. His name's Merrick Vale. Used to run intel. Moved into command after you disappeared. Ruthless. Ambitious. He's the one who put the order on Luna. I know that name, Adriana said darkly. He trained me. He trained all of us, Camilla said. But you? You were his prize. Luna looked between them. So, he wants revenge? No, Camilla said. He wants to prove he owns you. And if he can't have you, he'll break you. And everyone you touch. Luna's blood ran cold. Adriana's eyes burned with something close to murder. Where is he? Underground complex in New Mexico. Off-grid. High security. You won't get in without a plan. Then let's make one, Adriana said. Camilla raised an eyebrow. You're seriously going after him? We're not going to survive by hiding, Luna said, voice firm. If he wants me, he can look me in the eye when we take him down. Adriana turned to her, full of fire. This isn't just survival anymore. No, Luna said, stepping closer. This is us taking our lives back. That night, the three of them sat around a map, strategizing. Camilla laid out routes, patrols, weak points. Luna listened, learned, asked sharp questions. Adriana couldn't take her eyes off her. Later, while Camilla slept in the adjacent room, Luna stepped outside into the cold air. Adriana followed a few minutes later, arms crossed, gaze soft. You were incredible today, she said. Luna exhaled. I'm scared. Me too. But I'm also angry. I don't want to be a victim anymore. Adriana stepped closer. You're not. You never were. You really think we can do this? Together? Adriana cupped her cheek.
Yeah.
I do. Luna leaned in, forehead against hers. If we don't make it, don't. Just if we don't, I want you to know something. You don't have to say it. I want to. Luna looked into her eyes. I love you. Adriana froze. Then she kissed her.
Slow.
Reverent. Nothing like the desperate kiss from before. This was steady. Full of promise. I love you too, Adriana whispered. And I'm going to get you out of this.
Alive.
Free. They stood under the stars, two fugitives in love, planning a war they might not survive, but willing to fight for each other anyway. The sun hadn't risen yet when Luna slipped into her borrowed black gear, every strap and zipper pulled tight with trembling fingers. The Kevlar vest felt heavier than it had the night before. Her heart beat too loud, too fast. Every breath felt like a countdown. Adriana stood behind her, wordless, watching her with that impossible mix of pride and worry. You good? She asked finally. No, Luna admitted, adjusting the holster on her thigh. But I'm going anyway. That's what makes you ready. Adriana stepped forward, fingers brushing Luna's arm, grounding her. Remember what I told you. Never hesitate, but never lose your head. If it feels wrong, trust your gut. Always. And if I freeze? You won't. But if I do... Adriana's jaw clenched. Then I'll come for you. The plan was simple in theory. Camilla had secured 2 sets of fake credentials, disguises, and a stolen Kestrel transport schedule. The New Mexico compound operated under an alias, a private security contractor front with deep government clearance. Adriana and Camilla would pose as returning operatives. Luna would enter as a data analyst, tucked under their clearance. Infiltration was Phase 1. Extraction? Phase 2. The part no one wanted to talk about yet. They arrived just after dusk. The compound was a monolith of steel and concrete, surrounded by electrified fences and patrolled by armed guards. Surveillance drones buzzed overhead. Motion sensors lined the perimeter. Getting in required perfection. One wrong blink, and they'd vanish inside a prison no one knew existed. Camilla went first, face calm as ever, fake ID scanned by a red-eyed drone. No alert. She passed. Adriana followed, stoic and silent, every muscle tight beneath her jacket. Luna's turn. Her pulse was thunder in her ears as she stepped forward, ID card trembling slightly in her hand. The scanner blinked.
Processing.
Luna held her breath. 1 second.
2.
Then green. Access granted. She was inside. The halls were clean, clinical. Lights buzzed faintly overhead. Every step Luna took felt like walking a tightrope. Guards nodded as they passed.
No one stopped them. Yet.
Their cover was holding. But they didn't have long. We need to reach the server room, Camilla murmured through her comms. That's where we'll find Vale's command node. He keeps everything backed up, audio logs, orders, kill lists. If we get that data out, we can burn him. What about finding him directly?
Adriana asked.
We'll get to that, Camilla replied. 1 step at a time. They split up, Camilla heading toward surveillance, Adriana and Luna toward the central wing. Luna had memorized the map. Every turn, every camera-blind spot. Still, when a guard approached them, her breath locked in her throat. You're new, he said, eyeing Luna. Adriana stepped in front of her, voice calm and cold. She's with me. Clearance Sigma 2. You want to question that? Take it up with command. The guard hesitated, then stepped aside. Luna exhaled only after they turned the corner. I thought I was going to pass out, she whispered. Adriana glanced at her. You didn't. They reached the server room door.
Locked.
Adriana knelt and pulled a small device from her belt, attaching it to the keypad. Seconds ticked by. Luna kept watch, pulse racing. Got it, Adriana said. The door slid open. Inside, rows of humming towers, red and green lights blinking like stars. Adriana moved fast, inserting a drive into the central console. Data began to copy. 10 minutes, she said. We have to hold this position. Luna nodded, scanning the room. She turned, stopped cold. Someone was there. A woman.
Tall. Pale.
Dark red lips. Dressed like them, but not part of them. Adriana, Luna said, barely a whisper. Adriana turned.
Froze. Eva.
Hello, darling, the woman said. Her voice was velvet and venom. Didn't think I'd see you again. And yet, here you are with her. Her gaze slid to Luna. Pretty. Braver than I expected. Don't do this, Adriana said, voice low. You owe me that. I don't owe you anything, Eva hissed. You betrayed us. You burned everything. And now you're dragging her into it? Pathetic. You don't understand. I understand that Vale wants her. And I understand that I can hand her over and get back everything I lost. No, Adriana said, stepping in front of Luna. You'll go through me. Eva smirked. With pleasure. She struck fast, too fast. A knife flashed in her hand, and Luna barely ducked in time. Adriana lunged, tackling her. They crashed into a server rack. Metal screamed. Luna scrambled back as the two women fought, fluid, brutal, furious. Adriana blocked the blade with her forearm, twisted Eva's wrist, punched once, twice. But Eva was trained too. She slashed Adriana's side, red blossomed. Adriana grunted, staggered. Luna, she gasped. Go. I'm not leaving you. That's an order. Luna didn't move. She grabbed a nearby cable and yanked it free. Sparks flew. She swung it like a whip, catching Eva across the back. The woman screamed. Adriana recovered, tackled her again, this time slamming her into the wall. Eva dropped the knife. Adriana pinned her, breathing hard. You walk away now, Eva, she growled, or I end this. Then do it. Eva's voice was low. Prove you haven't gone soft. Adriana's fist hovered, then dropped. I already proved that when I didn't kill her. She grabbed Luna's hand. Come on. They fled the server room, the drive still copying behind them. They'd circle back. For now, they had to run. Camilla, Adriana snapped into the comms. We've been compromised. I know, came the reply. Meet me at Point Echo. I'll cover the exit. Sirens began to wail through the compound. Red lights flashed. Guards shouted. Luna and Adriana raced through corridors, ducking gunfire. Luna returned fire now, without flinching. The weapon felt like part of her arm. Adriana glanced at her, pride flickering through the chaos. They reached the stairwell. Camilla was waiting, two guards already down around her. You're late, she said. Had a reunion, Adriana panted. We need the server drive, Luna said. Still copying. Then we go back. Camilla stared at them. You're insane. Maybe, Adriana said, but she's worth it. They turned back. This time Luna led. Heart pounding. Gun steady. No hesitation. When they reached the server room again, Eva was gone. But blood marked the floor. The drive flashed. Download complete. Luna grabbed it, tucked it into her vest. Got it. They ran again. More guards. More shouting. They barely made it to the exit tunnel, a narrow corridor beneath the compound that Camilla had scouted years ago. It led to an unguarded hatch in the desert, half a mile from the main base. They crawled through dirt and dust, lungs burning, sweat stinging open cuts. When they finally emerged into moonlight, Luna collapsed to her knees, gasping. Adriana dropped beside her, bleeding, face streaked with grime. You did it, she whispered. Luna looked at her, eyes blazing. We did it. Adriana cupped her face, bloodied fingers trembling. You saved my life in there. Guess we're even now. Not even close. They kissed, fierce, aching, everything unsaid pouring between their lips. Behind them, the compound buzzed with alarms, unaware that its greatest secret had just slipped away. And in Luna's chest, something had changed. She wasn't prey anymore. She was fire. And she was ready to burn everything down. The safe house was different this time. Buried deep in the forest, no roads, no power grid, no signals. Just trees, silence, and shadows. Camilla had arranged it. A forgotten government bunker from decades ago, now barely holding itself together. But it had walls. It had doors that locked. And for now, it had peace. Luna sat cross-legged on a stained mattress, the server drive clutched in her hands like it might explode. Her fingers trembled, not from fear, but from what she was about to see. The data inside could end everything, or bury them all. Adriana crouched next to her, face still bruised, a fresh line of stitches running along her ribs. She'd refused to rest until Luna was safe. And Luna hadn't left her side since. Are you sure you want to see this? Adriana asked quietly. I need to, Luna replied. If I'm going to destroy the people trying to kill me, I want to know exactly what they've done. Camilla plugged the drive into a cracked laptop. The screen flickered to life. Folders appeared.
Hundreds of them.
Names. Locations. Mission logs. Some marked as completed. Others still open. Jesus, Luna whispered. This is an entire hit list. Not just hits, Camilla said. Recruitments. Blackmails. Cover-ups. Kestrel isn't just killing people. They're pulling strings in every direction. Politicians, corporations, law enforcement. Adriana leaned in. Look at that file. Top left. Camilla opened it. Adriana's name appeared on the screen.
Her profile.
Her history. Her training. Her kill record. Luna flinched, but didn't look away. They were tracking you from day one, Camilla muttered. Every move. Every disobedience. And her? Adriana asked, nodding to Luna. Camilla clicked through another folder. Luna's image appeared, taken from a cafe security camera. Date. Weeks before the alley attack. Notes scrawled beneath it. Potential leverage. Emotional connection confirmed. Target unstable. Priority high. Luna's throat closed. They were watching me before I even knew you. They were watching me, Adriana said. You just got too close. Or maybe I was exactly what they feared you'd find. Luna looked at her, a new kind of clarity in her eyes. Something to lose. Camilla tapped another folder. This is Merrick's directive. The master plan. She opened it. A detailed breakdown filled the screen. Expansion targets. Corruption routes. Kestrel wasn't just surviving. It was growing. Global. This could take them down, Adriana said. If we get this to the right people. Or it could kill us all, Camilla replied. Every name here? Every secret? We're holding fire. Then let's burn them, Luna said. Camilla raised an eyebrow. You've changed. No, Luna said. I've just finally opened my eyes. Over the next days, they worked nonstop, decoding files, tracing financial flows, building a map of Kestrel's operations. Camilla contacted an old hacker friend to prepare for a global data drop. We go wide, she explained. Dump everything at once. News outlets. Whistleblower sites. Let the world choke on the truth.
But they needed time.
And time was exactly what they didn't have. On the fourth night, a coded message appeared on their firewall. A breach attempt. Someone had found them. Adriana immediately took Luna's hand, dragging her into the hallway. Grab what you need. We move now. But we're so close. No arguments. Camilla was already packing drives and gear. They know we're here. Probably sent a scout first. We've got maybe an hour. Luna threw clothes into her bag, heart pounding. She'd gotten used to running. But this time it felt different. This time, they were carrying evidence that could topple an empire. We go dark again, Camilla said. Back to phase 1. But Luna shook her head.
No.
We go loud. What? We leak a piece of it. Just enough to make them panic. Let them know we're not hiding anymore. Adriana stared at her. That's risky. So is staying quiet. Camilla smirked. She's got steel in her now. I like it. We drop one file, Luna said. Something big. Something that makes headlines. I've got just the one. Camilla typed fast. A file loaded. Title: Project Sandglass. Adriana's face paled. You're kidding. It's real, Camilla said. Active. And it connects Kestrel to military experiments. Civilian casualties. All buried. If we drop this, it'll start a war, Adriana whispered. Luna's voice was steady. Then let it burn. They released it. Within hours, the internet exploded. Hashtags.
Leaks.
News anchors struggling to confirm. Panic spread like wildfire. And Kestrel? It struck back. That same night, the safe house exploded. They were already gone, watching from a ridge in the woods as fire swallowed everything they'd built. They're scared, Luna said, eyes reflecting the flames. Good. But their relief didn't last. As they traveled north under cover of darkness, Camilla grew quiet. Her eyes darted to her phone too often. Adriana noticed. What is it? Camilla hesitated, then handed her the device. A message. Just one line. She's compromised. Luna saw the screen and frowned. What does that mean? It means someone in our circle flipped, Camilla said. There's a mole. No, Adriana said coldly. We've kept it tight. It's just us. It's never just us, Camilla said. Kestrel's always listening. Always watching. Luna felt a pit open in her stomach. Then who is it? I don't know yet, Camilla admitted. But whoever it is, they're feeding Vale everything. Adriana stepped in front of Luna protectively. They're not getting her. I don't care who I have to kill. Camilla's expression was unreadable. Let's hope you don't have to make that choice. Luna turned to Adriana later that night, when they were alone in the back seat of a stolen SUV. You trust Camilla? Adriana hesitated. I want to, but I've been betrayed before. And if she turns on us now, then we end her too, Luna said quietly. Adriana looked at her, stunned. Then, you really aren't the same girl I pulled from that alley. No, Luna said. I'm something else now. Something they didn't see coming. She leaned in, kissed Adriana slow and deep, her fingers trembling not from fear, but from the knowledge of what they were about to do. They were going to end Kestrel. They were going to burn Merrick Vale's world to ash. But first, they had to find the traitor in their own camp. And Luna knew, whatever it took, whoever it hurt, she was ready. The rain fell in a cold sheet, relentless against the windshield as the SUV sped down the back roads of Montana. Luna sat in the back seat, staring out into the gray blur, trying to hold herself together while the silence inside the vehicle threatened to tear everything apart. Camilla was driving, knuckles white on the wheel. Adriana sat in the passenger seat, her body rigid, one hand resting on her thigh, twitching now and then like she wanted to reach for her weapon. No one had spoken in almost 30 minutes. The message still hung over them like a guillotine. She's compromised. It echoed in Luna's head, over and over. She wanted to believe it meant something else. That it was a bluff.
A lie.
Disinformation. But her instincts screamed otherwise. Someone was giving Merrick Vale information. Someone had sold them out. And they had to figure out who before it was too late. They reached an abandoned ranger station just before nightfall. Camilla parked, stepped out into the rain, and popped the trunk without a word. Adriana followed, helping unload gear. Luna stayed back, watching both of them with a tension in her chest she couldn't breathe through. She didn't want to believe it was Adriana.
Couldn't.
Not after everything. Not after the way she held her, touched her like she was something sacred in a world built on lies. But the doubt had started to seep in. Adriana hadn't told her everything about Merrick. There were still parts of her past Luna didn't know. Secrets she kept buried so deep they only surfaced in nightmares. But Camilla? Camilla had a past with Kestrel just as dark. And her sudden reappearance, her endless supply of resources, her access to data even Adriana couldn't crack, it all felt too clean.
Too convenient.
Luna helped set up camp inside the ranger station. The place smelled like mildew and rot. Dust coated every surface. But it was shelter. Temporary safety. For now. Camilla booted up her laptop and plugged in the encrypted hard drive, scanning for traces of the mole. "I'll scrub the files for meta tags," she muttered. "Maybe someone left a trace."
A ping.
Something small. "And if you don't find anything?" Luna asked. "Then we go old school. Motive. Behavior. Lies." Her eyes flicked to Adriana, who didn't react. Luna watched them both. "Let's say it," she said softly. "Let's stop pretending we're not thinking it." Camilla sat back in her chair. "You think it's me?" "You had access," Luna said. "You knew the routes, the safe houses, and you always seemed to be one step ahead. I've also saved both your asses more than once. That doesn't mean you didn't feed them information first. That explosion? The timing was perfect. You think I'd blow up a place while we were still in it?" "You left 5 minutes before we did," Adriana said quietly. Camilla's face hardened. "You're serious?" "We don't know what to think," Luna whispered. Camilla stood slowly, fury simmering just beneath her calm exterior. "You two don't get it. I've bled for this. I've spent years looking over my shoulder, watching everyone I ever cared about die or vanish. I don't owe you anything, but I stayed. Because I believed Adriana was still worth saving. Because I thought maybe Luna was too." "So then, who's compromised?" Adriana asked. "Because someone is." Silence. Then Luna looked at her. "You didn't tell me about Merrick training you to bond emotionally. To build trust so you could manipulate targets." Adriana's eyes snapped to hers. "That's not what this is." "But it was," Luna said, voice tight. "Wasn't it? You were trained to make people fall for you." "I was trained to use people," Adriana said. "But I never used you." "How can I know that?" "Because I walked away from everything for you. Because I bled for you. Because I'm still here." "So am I," Luna shouted. "And I still don't know which one of you is lying to me." Camilla stepped between them. "This is what Merrick wants."
Doubt.
"Paranoia. He wins if we destroy ourselves." "We're already falling apart," Luna whispered. "No," Adriana said, stepping forward. "Not yet." She looked at Luna. "You said you believed in me. That you loved me. If that was true, believe me now." Luna stared at her, heartbreaking. "I want to." "Then do." Camilla walked to the laptop. "I found something. A message. Buried under layers of security." She pulled it up. It wasn't a file. It was a video. Luna stepped closer. Press play. Merrick appeared on the screen.
Cold.
Smiling. "To whoever finds this," he said, "I want you to know it was always going to be her." He paused. Sterling's weakness was never her conscience. It was her heart. "I trained her well. But I knew eventually she'd fall for someone. That she'd turn her weapon into something tender. So I built a failsafe. Someone who could pull her back when she strayed. Someone who could make her believe she still had a choice." The camera shifted. A figure stepped into frame. "Camilla." Luna gasped. "No," Adriana whispered. The image froze. Camilla stood still beside the desk, jaw clenched. "That video is old." "How old?" Luna demanded. 2 years. I walked away. "Did you?" Adriana whispered. "Or did he send you to bring me back?" "I didn't know about Luna," Camilla snapped. "I didn't even know you were alive until the leak started. Then I went to find you. To warn you. But by then it was too late." "Too late for what?" Luna asked. "Too late to stop what he started," Camilla whispered. "Too late to stop you from falling in love." Adriana turned away. Her body trembled. Her face a mask of betrayal. Luna wanted to scream.
To cry.
To demand that someone tell her what was real. Camilla stepped forward. "I'm not your enemy. Not now. I was supposed to be Vale's failsafe, yes. But I chose you. I stayed. How do we know that? Adriana asked. How do we know this isn't part of the plan? Camilla didn't answer. Luna looked between them. She felt split down the middle. Everything inside her raw. But something in her heart still reached for the woman who had saved her life in a dark alley, who had held her at her worst, who had kissed her like it meant something. We need to go, Luna said. We need to move before they close in again. Adriana nodded. We go north. Into the Rockies. We vanish. Regroup. And Camilla? Luna asked. Adriana hesitated. She comes for now. Camilla gave her a hard look. I'll earn it back. Whatever you think I've done. You better, Adriana said. Because if you haven't turned on us yet and you do? Her hand drifted toward her holster. I won't hesitate. Luna turned away, the ache in her chest turning cold. She'd wanted clarity, truth, a reason to breathe again. But all she had now was fire, and the burn of choices that would haunt her forever. She'd chosen Adriana, for better or worse. But in the dark, as they packed up and drove into the storm, she couldn't help but wonder if she'd just placed her trust in the exact person Merrick Vale had trained her to love. The air was thin in the mountains, sharp in Luna's lungs, laced with frost and altitude and the faintest scent of pine. Snow had started to fall, not gently, but in those heavy, hurried flakes that made the world feel like it was closing in. They'd driven north for hours, climbed switchbacks with no guardrails, until the road ended and the silence began. The safe house was a half-buried hunting lodge in the Rockies. No electricity, no signals, no mercy. Camilla had found it. Adriana had scouted it. Luna hadn't slept in 2 days. Not really. Not since she'd seen the footage of Camilla beside Merrick Vale, her expression unreadable even then. Not since she'd said to herself, I believe in Adriana, and hoped that would be enough to make it true. That night, as the wind howled and the fire sputtered in the old stone hearth, Luna sat in the corner of the room, knees pulled to her chest, watching Adriana sharpen a knife in steady, practiced strokes. Camilla was outside, keeping watch. Or pretending to. Luna didn't know anymore. You should rest, Adriana said without looking up. Can't. I'll take first shift then. I'm not afraid of the dark, Luna whispered. I'm afraid of who's standing in it with me. Adriana paused. Looked up. Her voice softened. You're not alone, Luna. Aren't I? Her voice cracked. You've been trained to lie. Camilla's been programmed to betray. And me? I was just the thing he threw into your life to set it all on fire. You were never a thing, Adriana said, standing slowly. Don't let him rewrite that part. You never told me why Merrick really wants me. Not just as leverage. Not just to punish you. Adriana exhaled, jaw tightening. Because I didn't want to believe it. Say it now. She walked toward Luna, kneeling in front of her. Because he chose you before I ever did. He picked you for me. Luna's heart stopped. What? You were marked, Adriana said. Scouted. Before we met. Before the alley. Merrick's team found you. Found your profile. Your temperament. Your past. They knew you'd appeal to my instincts, my guilt. My hunger for something pure. Something not tainted by this life. So I was bait. Yes. And you fell for it. Adriana flinched. I did. Luna stood, backing away. Her breath was coming in short gasps now. So it was all real, because he made it real.
No.
No, Luna. What we are, that's ours. That was never his. But it started with him.
Yes.
But I chose you. When it mattered. I saved you when I should have walked away. I kissed you when I knew it would break me. I loved you when they told me I wasn't capable of love anymore. Luna's hands were trembling. Her voice barely a whisper. Why didn't you tell me? Because I wanted to pretend, even for a little while, that it hadn't all been written. That we were real from the start. Luna shook her head, tears stinging her eyes. You should have told me. I had the right to know I was being played. You weren't being played. Not by me. A silence stretched between them. Luna turned away. I need space. Adriana didn't stop her. Not this time. Luna left the cabin, stepping into the cold night, boots crunching through snow. The trees loomed around her, tall and ghostly in the moonlight. She walked until she couldn't feel her hands, until the ache in her chest matched the numbness in her skin, until she heard the sound, a whisper of movement behind her. Too soft to be Camilla, too careful to be anything safe. She turned, just in time to see a shadow lunge. A cloth covered her mouth. The world spun. The last thing she saw was the white blur of snow as it swallowed her whole. When Luna woke, the light was artificial, clinical, blue-white, and humming like it was alive. Her head throbbed. Her wrists were bound to a chair. Her vision swam. "Welcome back," a voice said.
Come. Cold. Male.
Merrick Vale stepped into her view, hands clasped behind his back, dressed in black like a priest at a funeral. "You've caused quite the mess, Luna Bennett."
She tried to speak.
Her throat burned.
Water, he said, nodding.
A guard brought it. She drank, glaring up at him with every swallow. "I know what you did," she rasped. "Do you?" he asked, smiling. "Tell me. I love hearing other people interpret my brilliance." "You manipulated her. You created a story. And you put me in the center of it like I was some kind of test." "Not a test," he said.
A key.
Luna frowned.
What?
Adriana Sterling was my most promising creation. But she was broken. So much potential, wasted by sentiment.
Guilt. Love.
I needed to prove that even love could be weaponized. He crouched in front of her. "You were perfect. All that kindness. That fire. You made her question herself."
Doubt. Feel.
"And now?" He leaned in. "Now she'll do anything to get you back. Anything I ask." "You'll never break her," Luna spat. "She's already broken," he said, smiling. "She just hasn't admitted it yet." "And what about me?" Luna asked. "What do you want from me now?" "I want you to help me finish this story." He stood. "She'll come for you. We'll let her. And when she gets here, you'll tell her to surrender." "No, yes," he said. "Or I start taking fingers." Luna's breath hitched. He walked to the door. "You're not a victim anymore, Luna. You're the weapon I made her fall in love with. And now, you're going to be the thing that ends her." The door closed behind him. Luna sat in silence, breath shaking, wrists burning. Everything inside her cracked, but not shattered. Because she wasn't the girl from the alley anymore. She wasn't prey. She was fire. And Merrick Vale had no idea what he'd just set in motion. Adriana ran until her lungs burned, the cold mountain air slicing her throat with every breath, but the pain didn't register, not compared to the hollow roar in her chest. Luna was gone. 1 minute she'd been pacing inside the cabin, trying not to shatter after telling the woman she loved the most painful truth of her life. The next, Camilla was shouting from outside that they'd found footprints. Drag marks. Blood on the snow. A single broken bracelet that had been wrapped around Luna's wrist. Adriana picked it up with trembling fingers, her mind splitting in half. Her rage was instant.
Pure.
A firestorm roaring through every nerve. Camilla knelt beside the tracks, already mapping them in her head. They came from the north side. 2 men, maybe 3. Quiet.
Trained.
They knew exactly who to take and how to vanish. Vale. Adriana's voice was barely a whisper. "He has her." Camilla nodded. "We need to be careful." "No," Adriana said, standing. "We need to be fast." Hours passed. Plans shifted. Weapons loaded. But none of it mattered to Adriana. Her focus was singular. Her pulse synced to Luna's name. She would not lose her. Not to Kestrel. Not to fate. Not to the twisted hand of the man who had tried to mold her into a weapon. She was not his anymore. And Luna was not his to touch. Camilla tapped into her old contacts, risking exposure to trace encrypted movements, power spikes and hidden compounds, any sign of life that didn't belong. Adriana leaned over her shoulder, eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. There. A flash on the screen. A heat signature in an old testing facility. Deserted. Unmarked. Remote. "It's him," Adriana said. And she's inside. We go together, Camilla said. No, Adriana turned, loading her pistol. You stay here. Cover us from the grid. Coordinate extraction. I'll go in alone. You're outnumbered. Not for long. Luna knew the layout of a prison when she saw one. Not because she'd ever been in one, but because the cell they kept her in was designed to look like it wasn't. Glass walls, sterile lights, no windows, one door. She'd stopped counting the hours. Her only company was the echo of her own thoughts and Merrick's voice when he chose to return. You were never meant to survive her, he said during one visit. That was the flaw. You got under her skin, made her human, and now she's coming for you. Because she thinks she can save you. She can. No, he said, crouching beside her. She'll break trying. And you'll watch. But Merrick didn't understand something crucial, something that pulsed like iron in Luna's blood now. She wasn't a victim anymore. She wasn't a pawn. She'd been chosen, yes, but now she was choosing herself. Every minute Vale kept her breathing, every visit he made to gloat. She memorized doors, codes, routines. She learned patterns. She remembered every moment of training with Camilla, every whispered instruction from Adriana. Strike with your mind first, then your hands. So when the guard brought her food, she smiled,
Spoke softly.
made eye contact, then waited. The next night, he returned. She dropped her spoon. He bent to pick it up. She moved fast.
Fork to his neck.
One hand to his throat. Keycard, she hissed. Now. Blood dripping, he handed it over. She hit him with the tray.
Hard.
He went down. She didn't wait. Luna bolted out of the room. Sirens blared within seconds. But it was already too late. She was loose. And Adriana was already in the building. The facility was a maze of concrete and glass, sterile and soulless. Adriana moved like smoke, blending with shadows, cutting through guards with brutal precision. Every bullet she fired was a promise. I'm coming for you. Alarms didn't slow her. Doors didn't stop her. She reached the main wing, cleared it, and paused because something had changed. A trail of blood, but not fresh. And not hers. She followed it, heart thundering, turned the corner, and saw her.
Luna.
Covered in dirt and bruises, gripping a stolen pistol, back against a wall. Luna. Adriana's voice cracked. Luna turned. Their eyes met. And Adriana knew instantly. She fought her way out. You came, Luna whispered, voice breaking. You saved yourself, Adriana said, crossing to her in seconds. She pulled Luna into her arms, burying her face in her hair. You're safe. I've got you. I'm not safe yet, Luna said, pulling back. He's still here. Adriana nodded. Then we end this. Together, they moved through the compound, a storm of vengeance and fire. They reached the command center, only to find Merrick waiting. Alone.
Come.
Impressive, he said, watching them approach. She's more than I expected, Adriana. You taught her well. She taught herself, Adriana said. And you're going to answer for everything you've done. No, Merrick said, stepping forward. I won't, because I've already won. You came for her. You abandoned your mission. You proved my point. Love is weakness. No, Luna said, stepping in front of Adriana. Love is the reason you're about to lose. And she shot him.
Once. Twice.
Center mass.
He dropped.
Not with a scream, but with a look of shock. Like the script hadn't gone his way. Like the weapon he forged had turned around and fired. Adriana caught Luna as her hand trembled. You did it, she whispered. We did. Camilla's voice crackled over the stolen comms unit. The leak went live. All the files. All the proof. You've got 3 minutes before this place gets swallowed whole by a cleanup team. We're already gone, Adriana said.
They ran.
Together. Out through the wreckage. Through the cold. Through fire and ash and gun smoke. Later, in a motel room 2 states away, Luna sat on the edge of a bed, staring at her hands. I didn't hesitate, she whispered. Adriana knelt in front of her, bruised, bloodied, but alive. You shouldn't have. He made me. He built me to destroy you. No, Adriana said. He tried to. But you became more than that. You became free. Luna looked at her, something in her finally breaking open. I don't know what I am now. Adriana smiled faintly. You're mine, if you still want to be. Luna leaned forward and kissed her.
Soft. Sure.
Full of every answer she didn't know how to say. I was made to be a weapon, she whispered against her lips. But you, what?
Adriana asked.
Luna smiled, fierce and alive. You turned me into something he couldn't control. Adriana pulled her close, forehead to forehead. Then let's never be controlled again. Outside, the world still burned. But inside, Luna had never felt more real. The war was over. But the silence that followed felt heavier than any gunshot ever had. Luna sat on the small balcony of a roadside motel tucked away in the Colorado flatlands, her fingers curled around a chipped coffee mug, watching a thunderstorm roll in from the distance. The sky cracked open in jagged lines, electric and feral, and the air smelled like rain and memory. It had been 3 weeks since Vale died. Since she pulled the trigger. Since the files went live and Kestrel's empire started crumbling in public view. The leaks sparked investigations, arrests, resignations. Every hour, a new headline bled across the screen. But none of it felt like justice. Not really. Because justice didn't come with this kind of silence. It didn't come with guilt lodged in your bones or flashes of blood behind your eyelids every time you closed your eyes. Adriana hadn't spoken much since they escaped. She kept watch, cleaned weapons they no longer needed, took long walks alone. The way she moved was different now. Like she was waiting for someone to pull her back into the fire. Like she didn't believe it was truly over. Luna heard the door creak open behind her. She didn't turn. Adriana stepped onto the balcony, leaned against the railing next to her. She didn't say anything at first, just stood there, arms crossed, hair messy from the wind. Storm's coming, Luna murmured. Always is, Adriana said. Funny how it never stops. Luna turned to her, heart thudding. You haven't looked at me the same since that night. That's not true. It is. Adriana exhaled, looking out at the sky. I see you differently.
Yes.
But not in the way you think. Then how? You saved me. Her voice was hoarse, quiet. I thought I'd be the one pulling you out of the dark. But it was you. Luna's fingers tightened on the mug. I killed a man, Adriana. A man who built me like a puppet. And I don't regret it. Not even a little. Good, Adriana said. He earned it. But I don't know what to do with myself now. Who am I if I'm not running? If I'm not fighting? Adriana turned toward her fully. You're whoever you want to be. You're free. That's what scares me. Adriana gently took the mug from her hand, setting it on the railing. She cupped Luna's face with both hands. You're allowed to be scared. You've been surviving for so long. You forgot how to live. And you? Luna whispered. Do you know how? Adriana didn't answer right away. Her thumb brushed along Luna's cheek. I want to try. With you. Even after everything I was meant to be? Especially because of that. Luna blinked back the sting in her eyes. I don't feel real sometimes. Like I'm still a story someone wrote for you to read. Then let's write something new, Adriana said.
Together.
The thunder cracked across the sky, but Luna didn't flinch. She leaned into Adriana's touch like it was the first thing that ever made sense. You still sleep with a gun under your pillow?
2, actually.
You think they'll come back? Someone always does. Then I guess we stay ready. No, Adriana said. We stay honest. We stay open. And we stop pretending we're broken beyond repair. Luna leaned forward until their foreheads touched. I love you, she said. Even if we're just two people trying to build a home out of ashes. Ashes make strong foundations, Adriana whispered. And I love you too. They kissed slowly, deeply, without urgency. Not like survival, like choosing, like staying. like healing. When they broke apart, Luna pulled back with a small smile. I want a dog, she said. Adriana blinked. What? A dog. Big. Dumb. Probably destructive. I want to walk it. Feed it. Watch it chase squirrels. Adriana chuckled softly, the first real laugh Luna had heard from her in days. You're serious. Dead serious. Okay, Adriana said, nodding. A dog. And a garden. Maybe a lemon tree if the soil's good. You don't know anything about gardening. Neither do you. We'll learn. Adriana looked at her for a long moment, something fragile and beautiful settling into her expression. You're already building something, aren't you? I'm trying. Luna reached for her hand. Stay with me while I figure it out. Always. They stood there in the rain, holding each other, lightning painting their faces in flashes of light and shadow. They weren't healed. Not yet. But they weren't haunted the same way anymore. Because surviving was no longer the goal. Living was. And love, messy, terrifying, unstoppable love, was the beginning of whatever came next. The town was small. Blink and you miss it small. Tucked between two mountains and stitched together by winding roads, dense pine woods, and the kind of silence that felt suspiciously like peace. Luna and Adriana found it almost by accident, following a trail of nothing until they reached something that didn't want to be found. They rented a cabin at the edge of the woods, just far enough from the locals to stay invisible, but close enough to buy groceries without raising eyebrows. The town didn't ask questions. They liked their mysteries quiet. Luna worked at the local bookstore, shelving paperbacks and talking to old women about poetry and boys who didn't deserve them. Adriana chopped firewood in the mornings, sometimes helped fix fences for the nearby farms, never said more than 5 words unless she had to. Their days were simple. Their nights were warm. But neither of them called it peace. Not yet. Because some nights, Luna still woke gasping, sweating, hand-reaching for a weapon that wasn't there. Some mornings, Adriana stared too long at the trees, her eyes flicking like she expected someone to step from the shadows. They didn't talk about it. Not all the time. But the silence between them wasn't cold. It was sacred. A space they both knew how to move through. Until the knock on the door shattered it. It came late, after dinner, rain tapping against the windows like a warning. Adriana had just set the dishes down. Luna was curled under a blanket, reading. The knock was slow, measured, heavy. Adriana moved first, wordless, hand brushing the inside of her coat out of habit. No weapon. Not anymore. She opened the door. Just a crack. And froze. Luna sat up instantly. Who is it? The woman on the porch was soaked.
Dripping.
Her eyes were sharp. Familiar. And full of memory. Adriana Sterling, she said. Long time. No. Adriana breathed. You're dead. Guess not. The woman stepped into the light. Mid-30s. Cropped hair. Long scar across her collarbone. She wore a tactical jacket, but no insignia. Luna, Adriana said, voice hollow. This is Valentina Reese. Luna stood slowly. You said she died in Berlin. I thought she had. You told me you buried her. I did. Valentina smiled. Not deep enough, apparently. They sat around the fireplace, tension hanging like smoke in the air. Valentina sipped tea, like she hadn't just returned from the grave. Luna watched her closely. Adriana hadn't taken her eyes off the floor since she arrived. How are you alive? She finally asked. You left me for dead, Valentina said calmly. Shot in the chest. Bled out for 10 minutes before I was found. It was a kill order, Adriana said. You know that. I followed protocol. You followed fear. Luna looked between them. Were you two? Partners, Valentina said. In more ways than one. Adriana's silence confirmed it. Luna swallowed hard, heart twisting. Why are you here? Adriana asked. I need a favor. Adriana scoffed. You show up after years, after I mourned you, after I burned everything, and you want a favor? You owe me, Valentina said. And you know it. What do you want? There's a man, Valentina said. Used to be Kestrel. Dirty, off the grid. He has something of mine. Information. Names.
Lives.
And I can't get close. And you think I can?
No.
But I think she can. Her eyes flicked to Luna. She's got the face of someone no one suspects. Absolutely not. Adriana snapped, standing. She's done enough. She's done everything. You don't get to decide for her, Valentina said. She's not a weapon. No, Luna said, standing. But I can be, if I choose it. Luna, you said we'd be honest now.
So, be honest.
You still think this life follows us? Yes. Then let's finish what's left of it, before it finishes us. Adriana looked like she wanted to scream. But she didn't. She just nodded once.
Defeated.
The target was in the next town over. A bar.
Quiet.
Off book. Luna watched him for 2 days. Learned his patterns. His habits. The way he watched the door too closely, but never the waitresses. She blended in. She smiled. And when the moment came, when he went out back for a smoke and she followed, she didn't hesitate. You worked for Vale, she said. He turned, laughing. I worked for money. And now I'm free. You're not. She pressed the knife to his throat. Your leverage. He gave up the drive without a fight. But as she turned to leave, he smirked. You know she's lying to you, right?
Who?
Adriana. Valentina.
Take your pick.
They're all just new versions of Merrick Vale. You think you're choosing. But they're always pulling strings. Not anymore, Luna said, and knocked him unconscious. Back at the cabin, Valentina decrypted the files. Adriana stood behind her, tense, silent. Luna leaned against the doorframe, watching them. The silence was thick. What happens now?
Luna asked.
We release it, Valentina said. Expose the last of Kestrel's remnants. These are the names they tried to erase. We save them. And then you disappear again? Adriana asked. Maybe, Valentina said. Unless, she looked at her. You come with me. No, Luna said instantly. Adriana didn't move. Didn't breathe. Adriana? I need to know what you'd say, Valentina whispered. If I asked you to choose. Adriana looked at Luna, the woman who'd saved her, loved her, chosen her, and then at Valentina, the ghost who still held a piece of her heart. I wouldn't go, Adriana said. But not because I don't care. She turned to Luna. Because this, us, is the only thing that doesn't feel like a mission. Valentina's jaw tightened. She nodded once. Then I guess we're even now. She stood, took the drive, and disappeared before sunrise. Later, Luna lay beside Adriana, both of them tangled under blankets, skins still warm from everything they never thought they'd have. Do you still think about her? Luna asked. Adriana didn't lie. Sometimes. Does it change anything between us? Adriana turned to face her. Only makes me more sure that I want you. Even with blood on my hands? Especially with blood on your hands. We're not the same women we were when we met. No, Adriana said. We're stronger. Meaner.
Smarter.
You love me different now. I love you truer now. Luna smiled. Then I think we're going to be okay. Adriana kissed her shoulder. Yeah, I think we finally are. The past always leaves a trail, even when it's been buried under fake names, lost cities, and the illusion of peace. Luna didn't want to believe it. She didn't want to look at the screen at the file Valentina left behind. But there it was. Her name. Not as a target. Not as a civilian. But as a project. Luna Bennett, designation. Asset 017, Initiative Siren, status, dormant. Awaiting activation, clearance, level red. Subject unaware of conditioning. She stared at it, frozen, the words clawing at her insides. Adriana stood at her back, arms crossed tight over her chest, jaw clenched so hard Luna could see the muscle twitch. That's not possible, Adriana said. She's not, this can't be right. But it was. More files opened. Old logs. Images of Luna at different stages of her life. Interviews. Psychological profiles. Simulations. The words behavioral programming complete stamped over a video where a much younger Luna sat in a room lined with two-way mirrors, unaware she was being studied. She turned slowly, the blood draining from her face. You knew. Adriana flinched.
No.
Luna, I didn't. I swear to you. You were Kestrel. You knew how they worked. You knew about Siren. I thought it was a myth. One of those dark projects that never made it past the lab. They were rumored to be building emotional weapons, people so deeply conditioned they didn't even know they were assets. Luna stepped back. So what am I? Her voice cracked. Some kind of bomb they forgot to detonate? No. Adriana's voice was fierce now, urgent. You're you. The woman who chose me. Who saved herself. Who killed Vale. They may have started something, but you rewrote the ending. Then why am I still in the system? The answer came before Adriana could speak. The screen flashed red. A siren icon pulsed. Asset 017, status. Active. Directive upload. In progress. Reactivating primary protocol. Luna dropped to her knees. A low buzzing filled her ears. A sharp, stabbing pain behind her eyes. Something inside her clicked. A door she'd never known was there, opening. Adriana ran to her, catching her before she collapsed. No, 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 stay with me. Luna was shaking, her voice slurred. I can feel it, something crawling inside me, like words I never learned trying to get out. Camilla's voice came through the open comm line. Valentina had apparently handed over one last layer of insurance. She's triggering. Someone must have activated the command remotely. It's embedded in her subconscious. If she doesn't fight it now, she'll fall into full protocol. What the hell do we do? Adriana snapped. You need to break the cycle. Sever the control point. Whatever emotional hook they use to anchor her, shatter it. Adriana looked down at Luna, who was clawing at her own skin now, whispering strings of numbers, patterns, and phrases like a language no one had taught her. Luna, listen to me, Adriana said, grabbing her face, forcing their eyes to lock. You're not a weapon. You're not theirs. You're mine. You're you. You're not your programming. I can't stop it, Luna whispered. I feel like I'm being erased. Then I'll fight for you. And she kissed her. Not gently. Not softly. But with everything she was. With desperation. With history. With truth. With love that was messy and earned and real. Something inside Luna shattered. The buzzing stopped. She gasped, jerking back like a drowning woman breaching the surface. Her eyes wide. Her breath ragged. But she was present. I heard your voice, she whispered. In the noise. It was the only thing that felt real. Adriana pulled her into her arms, holding her like she was anchoring her to the earth. We end this. Now. Together, they dove back into the files. The trigger had come from a location in Arizona, a facility buried under false military clearances. A fallback point. The place where Siren had been created. Luna stood in the doorway, covered in sweat and memory, staring at the place where she'd almost been rewritten. I want to go there. Adriana frowned. Luna, I need to see where I was made. I need to end it with my own hands. We'll go together. They packed everything they had, said nothing, but held each other tighter that night than ever before. The next day, as they drove across the desert, Luna looked out the window and asked softly, if I hadn't stopped, if the trigger had worked, what would you have done? Adriana didn't lie. I would have held you until you forgot the orders. Or, I would have gone down with you. But I wouldn't have fought you. I couldn't. Luna nodded, then reached for her hand. Then we destroy every part of them that thought I could be programmed to kill the one thing I chose to love. And behind her eyes, something new ignited, stronger than control, stronger than design. Will. The will to reclaim herself. The will to burn the system that made her. The will to end this. The Arizona heat was cruel, even before the sun fully rose. Luna stood at the edge of the facility that had once hidden the Siren Project, a forgotten military structure carved into desert rock, buried under years of dust and silence. But as she stared at its rusted steel entrance, she didn't feel small. She felt like a reckoning. Adriana stood at her side, her hand brushing against Luna's, both of them clad in black, armed not just with weapons, but with purpose. "You don't have to go in," Adriana said, her voice low. "We could blow it up from here. Walk away. Let it burn without ever looking back." Luna shook her head. "I have to see it. I have to face it. This place made me. I wanted to see what I've become." Adriana didn't argue. She knew better. The doors creaked open with the old clearance codes Valentina had provided. Inside, the air was colder than it had any right to be. Fluorescent lights flickered to life, as if the building had been waiting for her. The halls were lined with mirrors. Not one-way glass this time, just mirrors. Walls that reflected Luna's face back at her over and over. Different angles. Different versions.
Past.
Future. Potential. It made her stomach turn. Adriana walked slightly behind her, covering their flank, but also watching Luna with every step. There was a tightness in her movements, something restrained. Fear disguised as control. "You okay?" Luna asked without turning. "I'm waiting for the floor to vanish beneath us." "It won't," Luna said. "Not while I'm the one choosing the path." They reached the central chamber. A circular room. Tall, sterile. Machinery lined the walls, blinking softly. At its center was a single chair. Metal. Bolted to the ground. Restraints still hanging from the arms. Luna walked toward it slowly, as if pulled by an invisible thread. "That's where they sat me," she whispered. "I don't remember it, but I know it." Adriana stepped closer. "This is where they tried to rewrite you. And where they failed." From the shadows, a voice echoed. "That depends on how you define failure." Both women spun, weapons drawn. A man stepped into the light. White lab coat, older, hair thin and silver, glasses perched low on his nose.
Come.
Confident. "Dr. Silas," Adriana growled. "You're supposed to be dead." "Aren't we all?" he said, smiling faintly. "But some of us linger longer than others." Luna aimed her pistol at him. "You're the one who built me." "I refined you," he said. "Designed the parameters. Selected the triggers. Trained the voice inflections. Your empathy was always remarkable. That was what made you viable. You weren't just a weapon. You were a mirror. You made them fall in love with their own weakness." "No," Luna said. "You don't get to take credit for me. I'm not yours. I never was. And yet, here you are, standing in the heart of your origin, activated, awake, and dangerous. Only to people like you. We could rebuild," Silas offered. "We could go deeper. Rewrite the failure points. Strip out the emotional deviation. You could be perfect, flawless, untouchable." Adriana stepped forward, gun raised. "Say one more word, and I'll put a bullet in your mouth." "It's not your choice," Silas said. "It's hers. It always was." He turned to Luna.
"Well?"
"Will you become what you were meant to be?" Luna lowered her weapon. Adriana's breath caught. But Luna was already walking forward, slow and steady, toward the chair, toward the core of the place that had tried to define her. She stared down at it, at the stains on the metal, at the bolts in the floor. Then she turned and faced Silas. "You made one mistake," she said. "You thought obedience would survive love. That programming could outlast choice. That control could erase humanity. You don't know what you really are." "Yes, I do." She pulled the trigger. One shot. Center of his chest. Silas dropped like a puppet with its strings cut. Adriana didn't move. She just watched her. Luna turned back to the chair. "We burn this place," she said. "No survivors. No second chances." Adriana nodded. Together, they rigged the room with explosives from the cache Camilla had left behind. It didn't take long. When they reached the surface, Luna paused one last time, looking back, not with longing, but with defiance. "Goodbye," she whispered. Adriana handed her the detonator. "You sure?" Luna smiled, her eyes clear for the first time since this all began. I'm not their asset. I'm not their ghost. I'm mine. She pressed the button. The ground shook. Flames burst from the earth. The building collapsed into itself, dust and smoke rising like a final exorcism. They watched it burn until the sun rose behind them. Neither said anything for a long time. Then Luna spoke, her voice soft but unbreakable. You once told me love was weakness.
Do you still believe that?
Adriana took her hand.
No.
I believe it's the only thing stronger than programming. Then what now? Now we live. For real this time. They got back in the car. Drove east, toward nothing and everything. And somewhere along the road, with her head resting on Adriana's shoulder and the wind singing through the open window, Luna finally understood. She wasn't a story someone else had written. She was the author now. She was the flame, the hand that burned the script. And the woman she loved had chosen her, not because she was strong or trained or rewritten, but because she had looked into the eyes of her makers and said, I choose something else. Not war, not vengeance, not control.
Love.